again. I'm Harley Carnes. Welcome to Harley on the Headlines. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that you are spending a few minutes with me, and I hope you'll get something good out of it. If you are inclined to help, please do. Let someone else know about the show. We'll take it from there. Nothing is sacred. Well, not to an atheist. It's part of what defines them. They claim that all of this, from one end of the universe to the other, is an accident, and they don't like it that the vast majority of society belief is the point, by the way, believes that there is something greater than little old us that is there and that brought organization to cosmic chaos. Now an atheist in South Carolina is claiming that to take a legal oath and say, "I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God," is unconstitutional. Which means they have not read it, or they grossly misunderstand it. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights make two things about religion clear. One, the government is not allowed to have and declare an official religion. That's the separation of church and state. And two, religion and an acknowledgement of God, the Creator, is codified in it. The First Amendment begins with that. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And then it goes on to protect speech. Now, here's kind of the obvious point. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion means you can believe whatever religion you freely choose. Your concept of God, therefore, can take many forms, even yourself, as atheists do it. They think they are their own God, and their supremacy is entirely self-centered. That's not to mean selfish, it means self-centered. That the broad society uses God as a way of saying, "I swear to tell the truth, so help me," in my deepest, most enduring beliefs, is also protected by the Constitution. So maybe for the atheist, we might just spell it out for them. "I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, upon pain of incarceration if I do not." Might spell it out clearly enough. Same sort of thing in any oath that we might take while joining an organization, while joining the military, whatever. Maybe that might help. Because the rest of us get that it's the point being made. We just say it a lot more simply. What I'm saying is that James Reel, the litigant in South Carolina, is actually right. He should have the right to affirm in some purely secular manner his promise to tell the truth or to swear his fealty or allegiance. The Constitution protects our right to be religious. It also protects our right not to be. It does not let us off the hook on truth-telling. On the separate question of God, it is hard to understand, really, given how far our scientific knowledge has progressed, that there are still people who reject wholesale the idea that an organizing form of energy exists in this universe of energy that we may choose to call God. Even atheists, astrophysicists, and others studying the theoretical nature of matter in search of the actual nature of matter call it the God spark. Now we know Agent Orange, the vegetation-killing chemical of the Vietnam era, can also cause rare cancers of the bone marrow. There's research that proved it. They just had no idea. It's going to be more complicated next year finding Major League Baseball games, which channel, which streaming service. It's okay, that's a good thing. ESPN has a new 3-year deal for baseball games. NBC is back. First game for the Peacock folks in 25 years. And Netflix will be doing some Major League Baseball games for the first time. 3-year deals all around. By the way, when it comes to streaming services, MLB.TV is the king. It streamed 19.4 billion minutes of content this year. That's the most ever. Way, way, way more than the NFL or the NBA or anything else. We ought to take this page from the Aussie playbook. Play follow the leader with Australia on this one. The leaders of that country, Oz, down under, have watched what social media does to young people and they decided to be adult about it. Make a decision. No more social media access for all children under age 16. They are so smart. There is a list of internationally popular sites that will disappear today on kids' devices. They just can't get to them. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Reddit, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Snapchat, and Threads. The Aussies are so smart. And their young people mostly won't like it, will go through withdrawal over it, but they will be the better for it. Other countries, some in Europe, are moving in that direction. America should do the same thing. The question is, are we smart enough? Here's a hopeful sign. Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, says at long last he would be open to holding elections there if the U.S. and Ukraine's other allies will ensure security for the voters, and he'll do it within 3 months. He's been under more and more pressure because there has been too much corruption and graft in his government, and he has increasingly looked like a totalitarian, not a democratically elected and publicly supported leader. Ukraine also has a law that you can't have an election there during times of war. President Trump said it looked like Zelensky was using the war as an excuse to hold on to power, to avoid an election that could toss him out. Well, Zelensky has an obvious point about security, and also a lot of Russians have moved into parts of Ukraine, kind of like illegal immigrants with guns. Do they get to vote? They're not supposed to. And that's also what he's talking about when it comes to election security. On the other hand, why would Russia really care? If Zelensky holds on, nothing really changes. If he were unseated, the new guy would have to form alliances and make friends with everyone, including the U.S., and that would augur well for Russia in the turmoil of any changeover. Besides, if someone else were elected, chances are pretty good they might be war-weary and more ready to quit fighting than Zelensky. There's every chance Russia wants an election. I mean, why wouldn't they? Everywhere you look, things do seem to be looking up for Putin, don't they? Another day, another launch for SpaceX, which put another 28 Starlink satellites into low orbit. Not much more to say about that. That company has it down. They are the best in the business for sure. U.S. astronaut Johnny Kim was on the Soyuz spacecraft that landed at Kazakhstan in a huge cloud of dust, coming home from the space station. Like nearly everyone who goes to space, especially those who spend significant time there and who see the blue and green ball that is our tiny planet against the black loneliness of space, he comes home a changed man. Johnny Kim may have gone up there full of training and discipline and an educated sense that we humans have many answers, but he comes back talking about human, not national concerns. He said, there is a bond among spacemen and women that transcends national boundaries and loyalties. He says he will remember most that bond. He also said this after 8 months in space. I firmly believe that the greatest quality of an astronaut and a human is not technical competence or loyalty or any of the myriad of things that we like to ascribe to astronauts. It's love. Love is the greatest thing that an astronaut can have for each other and for the people that they work for and for our lovely planet. We shouldn't have to go to space to get that. Fortunately, most of us do get it without the view. I want to thank you for being there today. I appreciate it. I hope there's something worth sharing with others here and that you will do that. I really do. Like, share, follow, subscribe, pass the word to your email friends. Won't cost a nickel. Might be worth a dime to them someday, somehow. It's just my honor to try, The show is Harley on the Headlines. I am Harley Carnes, and let's do this again sometime. Hopefully tomorrow.